You're very welcome back to Ireland AM. 16 years ago, audiences nationwide were introduced to the hapless assistant manager, Fran. Now he's back and bigger than ever.
Joining us now are the stars of Fran's first feature film, Fran the Man, Darragh Humphreys and Ardal. Let's take a look at them in action before we chat.
Fran the Man, huh?
All right, Gaffer.
Yeah.
All right.
Good lad. Looks like we'll be starting with a fat back four against Rovers.
Do you not mean a flat back four?
No, I don't. Look at the guts on them. They're like planets. They need to be whipped into shape, Fran. I need you to ride these lads and ride them hard.
Frana, Gaffer.
Ah, Wheelo.
Open at the back, open at the
I
back.
thought you were retired.
I think I'm going to miss the opportunity to score against Shamrock Rovers. Not that chance. What's the story of the camera crew?
They're making a movie about me.
What? A reboot with a 40-year-old version, is it?
Declan Whelan, character.
Oh, it's great to see you both, and it's great to see Fran's made his return.
Yes, indeed.
For those who didn't see the TV series, who was Fran?
Fran was the assistant manager of St. Peter's United, who are now St. Peter's Celtic, for the reboot. Yeah, he's very dedicated, very committed. You were on board with us, Martin, first time round. Yeah, I used to read your tiny reviews. They range from very good to particularly good, so I would take
You're
them.
a happy
so
boy.
I don't have to tell you who Fran was, but no, for other people, he's making a comeback and he's been cast right into the limelight all over again. Whether he wants to be or not is a different thing.
Yeah.
But that's where he finds himself.
Now, tell us about this film, Ardal. Why now and why 16 years later? What was it about this year? Yes, we're going to do it.
It's just a lovely, heartwarming story. Fran is lovable. Anyone who's ever had any association with any football club or any sporting organisation will recognise Fran. He's one of those people with the heart in the right place. Bit of a dog's body, it's fair to say.
Yeah.
You know, he'd just do anything for anyone, and this club is his life. And I think we all know people like that. And it's just a very lovely, heartwarming, funny, unpretentious comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, you know, this is the guy who goes after the ball to make sure that the team's name is on them, and if it goes into a river, he's going into the river after the ball.
Yeah.
Fran's that dedicated.
But it's like men generally, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, like a lot of men invest everything in. Like, you know, maybe their home life's not brilliant, maybe their working life's not brilliant, so they just channel everything into the football club.
Yeah, exactly. Or don't have a home life to begin with.
Like poor old Fran.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like poor Oliver. And that's the kind of relationship you have in the film. Sure, God help us, here you are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think my character, I'm his boss. I'm actually the manager, but
Yeah.
like I don't like to get me hands dirty, really.
No. But you're kind of a surrogate family member almost.
Oh yeah. No,
Well, he denied you as a son and said you were more like a weird nephew.
Yeah, which was fair enough. I think Fran would have taken that, you see. I don't think Fran would have been remotely offended at that description. I think he'd have taken it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think my character describes your character as a bit of a dose early on.
Yeah,
And I think that's sort of. But like, you know, I'm very affectionate towards him.
There are worse things than being a dose. Yeah.
But like, outside of the film, like you mentioned that sport is something that can, like, if everything else is going backwards in your life, you can embrace that. Is sport something you're into anyway, or did you have to learn a lot for this?
I mean, you played a lot, and
Yeah. Well, but we're both kind of, we hit that unreasonable spot when it comes to following your team. Like, you know, all the logic goes out the window.
Yeah.
All the manners you've learned as a kid go out the window when you're watching your team. Doesn't matter.
And this
you've
world
become
is
more
very familiar.
competitive over the years. You
Oh
were
yeah,
saying.
no, absolutely. But
Who's
like
your
this,
team?
well, this world, like, I played for like a team called Orwell FC, you know, which reminds me of St. Peter's Celtic. Like when I was in my 20s, and you know, you see how much it means to people. Like, it means a terrible amount. And then I did my coaching badge for when my son was playing football.
You were a manager.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I was one of many dads who chipped in. But it was heartbreaking trying to sort of get, you know, I had no authority over these
Like
kids.
herding sheep.
Over these 12-year-olds, absolutely.
But I remember chatting to you. You made a brilliant documentary where you travelled around the world talking about local derbies and the rivalry and how fierce it could be.
Yeah.
You even went to Istanbul.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for Galatasaray and Fenerbahce.
That's
and,
right,
You know, and we know across the pond in Glasgow. It's
No, but it means a lot to people. Like people like have lost their religion. Maybe people have, you know, they don't have anything else in life but like this is their identity. Do you know what I mean? They mightn't even identify with their own country, but they will identify with their football club.
Yeah. They say it's the longest relationship you have in your life.
Yeah.
It's the one you
Exactly.
have with your football team.
Yeah, and
But a football team won't hug you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As they might sometimes.
Liverpool fans will say it's 46 years or whatever it is with the same bird, and it's the liver bird.
Okay, right.
You're like that with the Dubs, for God's sake.
Well,
the love of your life. Well, apart from
cut
Jenny.
me, I bleed blue.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think it could be a uniquely male thing now, this whole dedication and devotion to your single sport. But that's, I suppose, what Fran does have in this.
Yeah.
Now, you're a teacher by day.
Yes.
Like, have your students seen Fran before, or what sort of have they seen this, or what kind of slagging are you expecting?
Yeah, no, they have. Most of them weren't born when the TV series was, so that's a pretty stark reality for me, like, you know. And those who were toddlers when the series was first broadcast. But like anything that's cultish, as Ardal knows, not to make any kind of comparisons whatsoever
No
with
idea
Father
what
Ted.
you're talking
But
No idea at all, Father Jude. No clue.
exactly.
High up nor low down.
But you never know when cult status is going to creep up on you and catch up on you, and you always have those people who are the most enthused about it, and they get behind you in a big way, and we're just hoping that they'll bring a whole group of people. So yeah,
But there's
no getting away
a
from it.
romantic core to it. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's you know, there's a little bit of frisson between you and the Amy Huberman character.
Indeed.
Who has
yeah.
a great name.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We can say her name, but I'm not sure if we should say her son's name. We'll wait
Yeah.
for people to see that.
She's Jackie Charlton.
She is
She's
Jackie Charlton, yes.
But the one-liners in this are absolutely chef's kiss. They're hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
when you're delivering them, and you as well, Aaron, you know, like, this is going to go down great now. This is one for the promos.
Yeah. There's some
No?
lovely.
Yeah. And Peter McCann, who makes a couple of cameos in it, he was disappointed to hear that it wasn't going to be called Father Ted Lasso. So, but that, you know, I think we had to stick with the titular character. But there's so many great cameo roles in it. Apart from all of those people that you mentioned, who are all stalwarts of Irish comedy, there's people who've been cast practically from the stand-up world, like Stephen Mullen, who you saw in the clip there, who's incredible. So many of them that have lent their enormous talent to it, and it's thrilling, really thrilling. Yeah.
But there's been, like, life outside of film and football for all of you. Like, I can't believe your association with the Pope. I thought that was made up. I mean, genuinely, I thought that was something out of a comedy sketch, but it's true. Tell us, tell our viewers about this.
I'm not even sure if it's true anymore. Like, I mean, it seems to me to be very, very surreal. Yeah, I met the Pope back in June last year. I was.
You met the Pope back in June last year.
I know, as you do. Like, I could have been someone dressed up as the Pope. It could have been a film set. I mean, it was. You know, I got this bizarre email, like, inviting me to an audience with the Pope to celebrate humour and comedy.
How did this happen?
Well, it was just.
Did he find you in the priest collar somewhere wandering around
Just get the
on
impression,
the internet?
like he's in the Vatican there, and after the bingo, they sit down and they watch, you know, comedy or whatever. I don't know, but no, I think it was like. They invited comedians from all over the world. Like, it was a huge deal. Now, I thought it was a joke at first when I saw it, as you would. I thought someone was literally, taking the mick because, you know, revenge for Father Ted or whatever. But they had Chris Rock was there, Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Fallon, Conan O'Brien, like 60 Italian comedians with revolving dicky bows and big shoes. And then there was 3 Irish guys, Tommy Tiernan, Paddy Keelty and myself. Somehow or other, got on the guest
That
list.
sounds like a very dodgy trio to me in the Vatican.
Was there
all
white
very-
smoke?
There was all types of things going on. I can't possibly tell you what goes on
You
behind
can't.
closed doors
It's breakfast TV.
in the Vatican. But it was really quite surreal. But a lovely occasion. I mean, the Pope made a lovely speech saying how important comedy was. And
Seems like a nice man.
He's also a football fan.
Massive.
Yeah. John Paul II was a football fan, and Pope
Yeah.
Francis football
Massive
fan.
from Argentina.
from Argentina.
I'll
big
send them,
football
I'll
fan.
send them a few clips.
And the first time I caught up with Ardal after we finished filming, we had lunch in early June, and he was preparing to go, and he said, "I just have to check one more time that it's not part of some very elaborate prank that's been played on."
Yeah, we honestly looked into it, like, and you know, to absolutely make sure that we were taken for a ride.
You land over St. Peter's Basilica. What's going on here? No, sorry, it's
Yeah,
all
but
a big joke.
Even the morning we were to go in, like we were then given like top secret instructions. You know, turn up at this particular gate at this particular time, and even then I still wasn't 100% sure.
Oh, I wish I was a fly in the wall
I
for that.
know.
I'd
But,
love to have seen it.
anyway,
You can't make stuff like that up.
There is an Italian link to Fran the Man. Yeah, there's a little bit of match fixing going on.
There sure is, yeah.
So Fran
yeah.
becomes a detective.
There sure is. And the chipper that he hangs out is the San Siro, which is, and that's the proper name for it. We didn't have to make any changes. That's what the chipper is called anyway.
Oh, listen,
There's so
lads,
many
thank you so
great jokes in it across. There's great subplots. It's a great movie. It's a real laugh along. And if anybody's ever been to a schoolboy-schoolgirl game, they will get all the jokes. Yeah. Great to see you, boys. Thank
Thanks
you
very
a
much,
million
guys. Cheers.
both for joining us
Appreciate
on the
it. Thank you.
show
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you met the Pope. That's gas. Anyway, and a reminder that Fran the Man is in Irish cinemas across the country from today.
After the break, there's veggie pasta in the kitchen. We'll save some for all the lads, I think, yeah.
Please
Good
not a
pre-match
Domino's
meal.
Easter egg.